I love to fly up in the sky. Through the clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drum's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light.
Hello everyone, welcome to another flight from the Glide Slope channel. First of all, I'm noticing that for some reason I got two sponsor banners. Well, not sponsored by me coffee banners. Give me a moment while I remove one of them. Don't know what happened there. There we go. Now it's fine. Welcome. Today we're going to make a nice little flight out of Riga in Hungary, out of Budapest in Hungary to Riga in Latvia. And we're taking this beauty right here, this Air Baltic Latvia livery. It's missing the Latvia written on the tail. I didn't create this livery. I downloaded from Flight Sim.to, as I do for most, if not all, my textures. But apparently the creator did everything right except for the word Latvia that should be written here in the Latvian language. So it's Latvija or something, not just the way we write in English. But yeah, it is still a beautiful livery. I actually have about 4 different liveries already for Air Baltic. I have the standard Air Baltic, and I have the Estonian flag, this one, and that beautiful 50th livery. So I could probably pick that one for this flight, but I really like this one. So the 50th aircraft livery for the Air Baltic, it's the one with the beautiful lady painted on. It's actually a very pretty livery, and I've seen it only once in Lisbon. Never seen it that many times. I believe I saw it once in Lisbon and once, well, no, that was it, one in Lisbon. And so, but yeah, Air Baltic is one of those airlines that's just around. They've you know, grew so fast, and they're connecting these Baltic countries, Central and Eastern Europe, and they're very popular because they were one of the lead, if not the biggest, purchasers or you know, the biggest airline acquiring A220. So if the A220 is popular in Europe, it's mostly because of Air Baltic. Other airlines purchased A220s, but Air Baltic certainly took the big shot. All right. So without further ado, let's go to the ground because we need to prepare the flight. So let me get my sound from Flight Sim back. There it is. Alright, these are the engine covers for the famous Pratt & Whitney 1500G, or the geared engine, the engine that gave a lot of problems to Pratt & Whitney, to be honest. There was structural issues with this engine for a long time, and Pratt & Whitney is still today coping with the issues. And it's not just the A220 that is equipped with this engine. You've heard this engine. You've seen it on the A221 Neo from FS Labs, and the sounds are pretty much the same. The iconic whale sounds. So let's remove the static protection. Let's confirm the other side is also removed. We still have the chocks on, which is the way we want it. I'm not going to make a walk around. We did sort of a walk around before. Let's not going to do that again. It's just boring for you guys, and I get it. Let's see if the jetway connects. What is that? There's like a little thingy flying over there. I don't know if it's the jetway or the plane. There's definitely an artifact up there floating in the air. So let's see if the jetway connects. Nope. So this is GSX. When we are on the ground, it doesn't connect, so we need to be in the cockpit. So let's do that. Let's go to the cockpit. Here we are. Now let's see if jetway connects. So we just wait for it to complete whatever cycle. Once it turns white, we can start again. There it is. All right, let's start over. Will it work? Nope. How about we just load the passengers?
Boarding requested.
There it is. Alright, so cold and dark, just like last time. So first things first, let's connect the batteries to auto mode. Wait for the plane to power up. We can also turn on the... Whoa. Yes. No. This plane still suffers a little bit with performance. There's still some issues with it. As you can see, when we look around, sometimes the plane will just have some hiccups. Alright, so INS is aligning. We got FMS1 fail. This is something that we usually see when we're starting this aircraft, and sometimes it happens after we load the FMS, which is very annoying. So let's turn on the checklist. There we go. Power on. Checklist. So parking brake set, battery 1 and battery 2 set auto, ECL on TU2. This is what we got. So electronic checklist on display unit 2. We got a PTU set to auto, only hydraulic 3A and 3B are missing, so let's turn them on. 3A, 3B, 2B should also be turned on, I don't know why it's still off. And APU or external power connected. So power on, checklist completed. Now what do we got here? So it seems Navigraph is not updated. Let's see if we can reload data software. Navigraph 2004. No, this is not good at all. So where's the Navigraph?
This way, please.
Load new databases. There it is. 26.7. This is the one we want. Start the load. Hello Drexy, hello Andrew, welcome. Welcome guys. There it is. Load complete. Let's go back to the main page and see if everything's really peachy. there it is, July 26 to 4 August 26. Now it's completely loaded in. So let's first of all, let's load the flight plan here. Import from Simbrief. And there it is, from Listferenc. That's the Budapest airport to Riga. Today's weather is pretty mild. We got 22083, very mild wind, KVOC, temperature 34, dew point 11. It's not likely going to rain. QNH 1018, no significant change. As for Riga, temperature, wind is 130 at 4, also mild with a variable between 090 and 160. Also KVOC. The temperatures are a bit lower, 25 degrees, also not likely to have precipitation. QNH is the same, 1018, no significant change. So this is our routing. We can, of course, view the briefing over here and confirm all the data. We're going to fly to flight level 370 for our cruise. We're expecting a block fuel of 6.3. And everything else will confirm afterwards. So now that we loaded a flight plan, let's go here to flight plan of uplink, confirm Simbrief data. This is incorrect, by the way, but anyway, send, complete, and complete. Now let's go to secondary flight plan. There it is, LHBP, that's Budapest to Riga, confirmed. So we activate it and execute. Done. Alright. So we are now, the FMS is now loading, so we need to wait until it finishes loading. So let's go for the pre-flight checklist. Airplane documents on board checked. Operations engineer bulletins checked. This is offset, by the way. They need to review this. Emergency equipment checked. Ear pins have been removed. They're probably on board, we just can't see them. Overhead panel has been checked, glare shield, displays, everything's checked. Ice detector check. We can perform that since we didn't do that last time. So we're going to come here to Synaptics and see if I remember where exactly that is. Because I don't. Definitely in Synaptics. Oh, alright, here we go. Ice detection. So, ice detector check. We're just going to wait for it to complete. We are in no rush. So, ice left and right ice detection fail. Not sure if that's intended or just not modeled. But, yeah. So, can we recall this? I don't think we can recall that. So we're going to stick with those warnings over there. Testing TCAS just in case. We probably need to perform this after the airplane's completely energized. Probably. We'll see. TCAS pass. At least we didn't have any warnings. We should hear a TCAS pass oral message, I think, but that's not the case. So this isn't working here. I tested last time, it wasn't working. All right, so we're gonna have to live with the ice detection fail. I'm not sure if we can trip or just recall those messages. So reject. This is for the ACAR system, and I believe this is the recall button, but it doesn't do much. Alright, it's alright. We can live with that. I mean, it's not good, but we can live with that. While we're at it, let's turn on the emergency lights, turn on the seatbelt signs, as well as the no personal equipment. The nav lights are already turned on. Alright, let's go back to the map here. Oh, sorry, the checklists. So we tested it. It failed. I hope we don't have any ice today. Circuit breakers. Let's go to the CB page. Nothing is offline. Looks good. HACAS and info checked. So you see ice detection fail is still there, even though the system has cleared. Altimeters. Let's go here to our D80s. So altimeters is 1018. So let's set that on the left and on the right. So 1018. There it is. Set and cross-checked. We also can set it here. Done. Center panel has been checked. We basically go around and check that the levers are in the correct position, flaps and spoilers are up, all the radios are turned on. We can also, just work on the floodlight and all that, but that's not really important right now. We're just going to boost the lighting here for the instruments because we're going to make a night flight. Cockpit door is unlocked for now. Yeah, looks good. Rudder trim, we're going to need to confirm rudder trim set to neutral. It is. Side sticks, so I'm just going to check mine. They see that they move freely. They look like Airbus standard sticks, but they're slightly different. They do have a bigger range than the standard Airbus sticks. Standard Airbus sticks usually are a bit narrower. Oxygen mask, I'm going to check mine. Betsy's going to check hers. Done. And vRAAS test. I'm not sure this plane is actually equipped because I do have RAAS. Or is that RAAS? Well, doesn't matter. Pre-flight check complete. Alright, so now that we've got our flight plan uplinked, let's go here to clearance and let's request our IFR clearance.
Budapest delivery, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, Airbus A220-300 with information Delta 845, request IFR clearance to Riga Airport.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, Budapest delivery, cleared to Riga Airport via LIT 22 Lima departure, runway 31 left, climb via SIT to flight level 140, squawk 1301.
Cleared to Riga Airport via LIT 22 Lima departure, runway 31 left, climb via SIT to flight level 140, squawk 1301, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, feedback correct. Contact ground 121.901 when ready for pushback or engine start.
Ground 121.901 when ready for pushback or engine start, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
Alright, so we got our departure clearance. So we're going to take off in runway 31 Lima.
83 Alpha, ramp Romeo 274, request pushback and engine start.
This one.
Eurowings 83 Alpha, Budapest ground, pushback and engine start approved.
Litka
Face
to Lima.
northwest.
Pushback approved, face northwest, Eurowings 83 Alpha.
There it is. Done. Execute. Looks like our plane has finished loading, so we're going to come here to the load sheet, load the aircraft, Simbrief port first, then load the aircraft. Alright, here we go. So we got 104 passengers, we got a fuel load of 6.3, just like we saw in the briefing, and current weight, zero fuel weight is 48,386. Let's input that data. Stand by. Need to insert the flight number as well, but I'm not going to forget that. So coming here for the just confirming here. Alright, so coming here for the flight plan fuel, that's it. And now let's insert the data here. So again, zero fuel weight 48.4 or 48386. 48386. Yep, confirmed. And so
Eurowings 83 Alpha, request taxi to the active.
RCE is 25.
Eurowings 83 Alpha, taxi to holding point Juliet 4,
And
runway
as for
31
the
left,
block
via
fuel,
Papa Mike, Bravo 3, Tango, Bravo 2, Juliet 4.
6,282.
Taxi to holding point Juliet 4, runway 31 left, via Papa Mike, Bravo 3, Tango, Bravo 2, Juliet 4, Eurowings 83 Alpha.
29 or 2, sorry.
Shanghai Air 898 Heavy at day 3 for request pushback and engine start.
902.
Shanghai Air 898 Heavy, Budapest ground, pushback and
Number of
engine start
passengers,
approved.
we got
Face
104
northwest.
passengers.
Pushback and engine start approved. Phase northwest. Shanghai Air 898 Heavy.
There, done. As for the FMS, we can only select
UPS
count
295
for now.
Heavy at RAV Romeo
As for
113,
wind
request
temperatures, we're
pushback.
gonna request flight plan.
UPS 295 Heavy, Budapest ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face southeast.
And execute.
Pushback approved. Face southeast. UPS 295 Heavy.
So it says here completed, but yeah, no path TKE, that's something. Alright, so as for departure, we're going to calculate here our departure profile. Takeoff performance, let's sync FMS, sync weather, it never syncs. Not sure why this happens, to be honest. So we need to insert manually. So wind, we got 100 at 3 knots. OAT is 31. And altimeter is
Shanghai
1022.
898 Heavy, ready to taxi to the active.
1018, sorry. 1018.
Shanghai Air 898 Heavy, taxi to holding point Juliet 4, runway 31 left,
Calculate.
uniform Alpha, Tango, Bravo 2, Juliet 4.
We got takeoff 2, so 20% reduction. V1 is 127, VR is 132, V2 is 136, and we are setting F takeoff with flaps
UPS
2.
295 Heavy.
Oh, sorry.
Request taxi.
Send to FMS. And now if we go here,
UPS 295 Heavy,
everything
taxi
is
to holding
now
point Juliet 4,
cleared.
runway
We're going to
31
lead
left,
source
via
to
Golf Alpha
from the
1, Bravo
engines.
Juliet 4.
Don't need
Taxi
to
to
insert
holding
any of
point
this
Juliet 4,
data.
runway
Set
31
V
left,
speeds
via Golf
complete,
Alpha 1
and
Bravo
they are now
Juliet
on
4,
the
UPS
PFD as well.
295 Heavy.
As for our climb, let's set our transition altitude, which is flight level 100. So let's set here 100. Sorry, 10,000. Now it's set correctly. No need to alter the cruise. We are set for flight level 370 as planned, and no need to set up descent just yet. We can descend. We can set the transition altitude for Riga. It's 050, so 5,000 feet. Done. We can also write FL050 if you wish, but it will automatically change. Other than that, we'll see what arrival we get. Let's go to our route here.
Eurowings 83 Alpha, contact Budapest Tower 119.975.
And this is the
Over to
route
tower
we got here. So if we
119.975,
plan, we
Eurowings
can
83
actually
Alpha.
see what flying we'll be doing. And yeah, it looks okay. No apparent discontinuities as it usually happens with this plane. And it's not going to be a very long flight. It's going to be a very nice little flight. There is a discontinuity here, which is not really evident here after
Shanghai Air 898 Heavy, contact Budapest Tower
Let's see if we can clear that.
119.975. Good day.
Over to tower
Like I said,
119.975,
this plane
Shanghai Air
usually
898 Heavy.
tends to
Have
do
a good
this for
evening.
some reason, but as you can see, the discontinuity isn't there. But we'll still try to clear it because we don't want that. So we copy here, paste there, select this restriction there, and execute. And there it is. Now it's complete, no discontinuity. We can also confirm
UPS
this
295 Heavy,
in the
contact
VA2,
Budapest
so no
Tower
discontinuity,
119.975.
which is good.
Have a good evening.
We have a direct to flights, no airway today.
Heavy.
Alright, so looks good. Let's just open our performance page. This is the one we want. Let's go for the before start checklist. Aircraft acceptance complete. Load sheet acceptance also complete. Takeoff briefing. Do you want to hear it, Betsy? She doesn't care. APU and external power, so let's request APU start and disconnection of the ground equipment. So let's start our APU here. So we run to start and it will come back to run on its own. And now we monitor the APU start on our Synaptic page. There it is. APU coming up. Seatbelt signs are on. We are going to close the doors and turn on the beacon. Let's prepare the plane for departure. Beacon is on.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Oh, it seems that I was too quick requesting pushback. It disconnected the ground power. My bad. It's back on. Sometimes I'm a little faster than the plane.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin
Still
inserted.
have the ice detection fail. Now I know not to perform that test. And again, I think this is the recall button. It is the recall button, so it's just cleared all those other items. Now it appears that
Locking gear.
so the APU is powering the plane, I believe. Yep, 100%. We just had a FMS reboot on ourselves, but I think it held the flight plan. Yep, it did. So everything was held. All right. We'll stand by. We still need to call it in. GSX is a little too eager today, so let's turn on terrain and VSD as well as traffic. That overlay will stick. I'll turn on. Well, I need to start an external program to bring. Yeah, this is something I really don't like. So, in order to depict terrain, this plane uses an external program that we need to load in order to depict terrain. And sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. I'm still trying to figure out. It is a bug. It's not something I'm doing wrong. It's just buggy. Alright, let's see if it now depicts terrain correctly. I think we need to turn it off, run the server, and then turn it on again. I think. Let's see. Server's running. Should be loaded. Yeah, it's just buggy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Alright, looks like we are still having issues here with the co-pilot's heading. Probably shouldn't have turned off the power to it. Let's see if I'm going to pick up the FMS here. Let's see if the flight plan is loaded. Yep, see, FMS fails, so this happens quite a lot with this plane. We just need to wait for it to reboot. But co-pilot's still not. Dual ADS fail. Yeah, it's a mess. This plane is not good. Let's get this back to, I don't know, checklist. And see if now we can get our FMS back. Not sure why this happens, to be honest. ADRs are automatically aligned, so there's not much I can do. I mean, power going off the way it did. Once you turn power sources on and off, this happens quite often. Plane just doesn't like it. Flight director can even be turned on. There it is, we got our FMS back. And now we got our V-speeds. So Copilot still doesn't have so ADS fail is gone, but we still don't have our Copilot's parking brake as required complete. So before start checklist complete, we just have this failure here. Let's see again, dual ADS fail. Alright, so apparently we can put these back in, except for the battery 1 charger. These are the circuit breakers, by the way. They just popped out. This is a bug, by the way. That's still failing. So let's pop them out again. Pop them in, I mean. Do I have to restart this flight? Please tell me I don't have to restart the flight. Right, we just tripped the... It seems that the circuit breaker from the APU trips whenever we start the APU. Still don't have Copilot. Just wait a few seconds. If this doesn't go, I'll just restart the flight here. Oh, why is the gear? What's going on with the gear here? The gear was retracted for some reason. I didn't retract it at all. So this is part of the checklist, by the way, and I totally missed it. Right, looks like the failures did come back. There they are. They're in. Let me just see if like, I'm not going to search each and every circuit breaker here. So this power trip here did a number on my Copilot's INS system. But everything's working except for heading. I'm just going to restart the flight real quick. Actually, just restart it. I'm sorry about this, but you know, it's the price we paid for flying with recent released planes. They sometimes fail like they're failing here. I'm pretty sure someone will say, ah, you did this or that wrong. Yeah, maybe, but I honestly don't think I did. I honestly don't think I did. All right, we are going to be quicker now. Also because I don't want to be bothered with all this checklist stuff, so we'll skip the checklist. We'll just go straight to the flight, load the flight plan and all that jazz. The planes should be already loaded. Close all doors, load the weights, and after that we'll just tell GSX to start pushing. Alright, just waiting for the FMS to come up. So we'll skip all these, the power on, just say we got everything. And we gotta turn on the hydraulics again. This is very quick, complete, pre-flight. We're also going to check everything. Let's not do the ice detection thingy. Side sticks, oxygen max, okay, complete. Before start checklist after aircraft is load sheet accepted, takeoff briefing, APU in our external power. Let's start our APU already. Alright, we're checking the database, correct. Let's go to flight plan uplink, send, complete. Let's go to secondary, activate, execute. Gonna go a little faster now. Runway 31 Lima via the LATAC 2 Lima departure. Done, execute. Flight number. This we need. Flight number is PTI 22 Tango Golf. PTI 22 Tango Golf. Whoops, not that one. Tango Golf, there we go. And set it up here. For the fuel, need to go to the load sheet again. So 6.62902. 6292 for the block fuel. Oh, we need to insert, yeah, okay, makes sense. 48386. Why can't I insert any data now? What's going on? I've never seen this bug. Oh, because we need to wait for it to line up. Alright, makes sense. Alright, let's go to the performance, no, the route here. Again, we got the discontinuity. Let's pick up LitCo and point it up, selecting constraint, done. Looks good. No constraints here. Select new format. What? Was this a WASM crash? Weird. Alright, flight plan is active. Nothing in the secondary. So, again, flight plan request. One more time. 48.386. Oh, what is this? 386. Ah, yeah, it's bugged. It's completely borked. It's gonna crash again, isn't it? Alright, let's go back to the route. We'll see after the lineup of the INSs if this thing continues to fail. Alright, beacon is on, F is on actually. So let's tune in for the pushback. We need ground. We're not going to call it just yet. So FMS is still lining up. We're going to wait for that. We can turn on the beacon because we are parking brake set. APU is powering the plane, so we can let go of the external power, which was already disconnected. It automatically disconnects. So complete. Before start checklist complete. Now we're just going to wait for the plane to line up INS and confirm all the data. And after that we can... oh, what was the squawk? Squawk 1301. Done. Oh, by the way, this does have a little compass here that can actually give you some basic info, including glide slope, which is amazing. This is where you place your minimums. You can set your magnetic heading or 2 heading and bearing as well. We might need to go here and tune our frequencies manually and our bearings as well, because there's an issue right now with ILS. Still waiting for the INS. I wish the ND could tell us how much time is left on the INS alignment, but it doesn't. So we were cleared for 6,000. No, flight level 140. Let's open here. We got our heading. Let's go here to the data page where we can pick up our airport data as well as our departure. Let's go pick up the airport data. So we are looking at runway 31 Lima. The runway course is, barely read, these charts are so small. 307. Wish this could go a little faster. Done. We got our FMS set to speed. We got our flight directors ready to be loaded. There they are. There it is. Okay. And now we're going to set TOGA so that we get TOTO on the FCU. Got done. Alright, we're good to go. APU is on. Parking brake set. Nose wheel steering will only be turned on after we finished our pushback. So let's request our push and start.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf at gate 45, request pushback.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, Budapest ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face northwest.
Face northwest.
Pushback and engine start approved, face northwest. Air Baltic 22 Tango
need to
Golf.
insert this data.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
So the transition altitude here is 10,000. Done. Execute. Let's go here too. Okay, done. Performance. Need the V speeds.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
So, get the weather. So, it's still 070 at 3. 070 at 3. OET is 28. QNH 101.
Lock in gear.
What is it? What's going on here? 1018. The lag is real. Calculate. Send to FMS. There they are, set 3 speeds. Now we just need to go here. Confirm the fuel. Fuel is already inserted, so we just need to add CG, which is 25. Passengers are 104. Done. Alright, looks good. Yeah, 104, 6.392. 6.392, sorry. For 48,386, 48,386 and CG25. We got it. Execute. Looks good. Again, request the winds. Probably not gonna go. I'm not sure why the weather in my system fails to load. Oh, we got terrain again. Nice. Let's just turn it off for now. Alright, looks good now. I think I didn't miss anything. I hope. Let's just boost the lighting here for now. And we got clearance to face northwest. So let's go back here. Continue pushback onto facing exit points. You know, this is hard to figure out, but I think we're going to go through.
Release parking brakes.
Parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Copy, start at will. Let's start number 2. Engine 2 starting. They will take a moment to start. The plane is going to push back quite long, because this is there's only one exit out of this gate area. So what just happened there? There we go. You see, there's only one way out of this gated area, and so the plane needs to taxi all the way back to be free to continue taxiing. Now the engine 2 is starting. So before taxi checklist APU was on, flaps, we're going to select flaps 2. NTI is not required, and on the cowling or the wing. We're going to check flight controls in a moment. We're going to turn on nose steer. FMS is set. The trims will be set to green as they are, and ACAS and info check. You see it again. The once we had the systems restart, change to APU or whatever, this FMS restarted again. It's crazy. Alright, we're still pushing. Let's start number 1 now, or left engine. We don't have 1 and 2, we have left and right. Different philosophies. Again, this is an Airbus just by name. Hydraulic PTU fail, it's completely normal. System is tripping. And I think we're going to stop here.
Set parking brakes.
Parking brakes
Waiting
set.
for confirmation for a good engine start.
So we are going to taxi. Actually, should have taxied the other way. And we can make a U-turn back here to runway 31 Lima. This is the one we're going to take off from. These map depictions are very, very touchy. Sometimes it just goes away. It looks like it's blank. It's not. It's just a map that moved away. Something they need to change for sure. Also, this invalid speed use manual is quite crazy, but we're going to set V2 plus 10, so 140, 146. Check departure performance. Other than selecting engine bleed source, I'm not seeing anything that we need to do. We're gonna arm the APR. Climb thrust set to climb. But still it says performance departure. I'm not sure what I can do here, to be honest.
Cockpit to ground. Engine's not started yet. I'll call you back later.
Oh yeah, this is another issue with this plane. Since it doesn't really actually tell GSX that what engine status it's in, it'll never give the green light for the engine starter to be completed. So yeah, check the part perf. Yeah, not sure what I can do there, to be honest. I'm going to go with you to see, so you guys can see that everything's set up. I mean, we can insert this data here, but we already are telling the plane we have a takeoff, derated takeoff. But I guess we can fill in those items there. Maybe it does need it. I've not, the way I read it in the manual, it's not necessary, but hey, let's do it.
Tow truck disconnected.
So OAT
bypass pin removed.
is 28.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
And runway wind is 07083. Yeah. Now that still got the same message there. So I don't know. I'm not going to flex because I don't have a flex calculator. I'm not going to guess numbers here. So it is what it is. Alright, looks like we're good to go. So we're going to request taxi to the active.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, ready to taxi to the active.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, taxi to holding point Juliet 4, runway 31 left, Air Hotel Alpha Tango Bravo 2 Juliet 4.
Taxi to holding point Juliet 4, runway 31 left, Air Hotel Alpha Tango Bravo 2 Juliet 4, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
So we need to reach Juliet 4 right here. And for that, we need to go through all this. So we need to turn left here, go to Bravo 3, correct? Or Alpha. No, we need to go through Alpha and then turn left, or turn right, sorry. Alright, there we go. Taxi lights on. And let's move out. These engines are very sluggish to respond. Be mindful of that. We need also steering, of course, and we also need. Oh, it's alright. I said I was going to need track IR. Hey, Sam Minks. I'm sorry I've not been paying attention to the chat today. This plane keeps me very, very busy. And not for the right causes. So I'm going to check flight controls here. So let's carry on with taxi. Let me just confirm. Yeah, it's going to be a left-hand turn here. I missed it. We can check the flight controls in the meantime. So, full deflection left, neutral, full deflection right, neutral, full pitch up, neutral, full pitch down, neutral, full rudder left, I need to turn on these lights here because the cockpit is way too dark for my taste. There it is. Missing items on this aircraft. One of them is the BTV, so the airport charts in the NDs are missing. I believe they are planning to add that, plus the weather radar is also missing. Some items in the FMS are missing. Not important items, but still missing. Alright, this is our turn here. On the nose wheel steering. Awesome sound, although it kind of feels automated. I don't know, it kind of feels automated to me. Set heading to automatic. I get no VNAV, no VPath X to TK. I'm not sure why that happens, but that already happened to me in the last flight. I need to read about it again. I did not find any specific info on that. That and the performance departure config.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, contact Budapest Tower 119.975.
Right, this is our turn.
Tower 119.975, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
So I guess I'm going to stop here at the visual holding point. Make our final checks. Good. We have these logo lights. We can turn it on. Landing lights are off. Seatbelt signs. Nothing's lit up. We can have a little floodlight here. No floodlight. All right. We can have a little dome light. I wonder why the floodlight isn't working. Looks good. Ah, there it is. There's a floodlight. So let's see. Flooding. Good. Right. I guess we're good to go.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf ready for departure. Runway 31 left.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, Budapest Tower, wind 070 degrees, 3 knots, runway 31 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 31 left, cleared for takeoff. Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
Very sluggish engines. Takes a lot of inertia to make it move. Set to RTO. Hydraulic fault. What?
Approaching 3-1 left.
Confirm the hydraulic panel here. Everything looks peachy. What's the problem?
On runway 31 left.
Yeah, the sounds are great, Trixie. Here we go. there's a fail switch system inside, but still. Except if you're flying the Fokker 70-100, it does have a nose landing line, and it is set on the nose, not on the nose landing gear. It actually looks a little weird because it pops out like a car headlight. We're coming up on the right-hand turn. And let's pick up our departure here. We just took off and we're flying northbound. Turn now northeast. Passing 10,000 feet, external lights off. Altimeter set standard. And cross check. Oh, APU is still running. No need for APU now. Personal electronic devices can now be set to auto. There it is. I'm just going to keep the seatbelt signs a little bit longer. Because I usually keep them on if I predict I'm going to make a few harsh turns, but given that there's only one left turn now, I'm going to turn back to auto. That's it. No, it's not toga. It wasn't toga. I'll explain what you do. I'll give me a moment and I'll explain to you. It's not toga. You engage toga. It's these two little buttons here. But you don't actually go 100% on thrust. You could actually see the plane was running more or less at 92.4, 92.5%. I'll explain how that works on this plane. Turn off track IR, no longer needed. So, when I set up the performance here,
Center on 120.38, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, good day. Budapest Control, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, passing flight level 154, climbing to flight level 180.
Baltic 22 Tango Golf, Budapest Control, identified, climb flight level 370.
Climb flight level 370, Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
With Malta 6 Bravo Papa, contact Bratislava, radar 134.475. Have a good evening.
Alright, so like I was saying, when I set up performance here for the departure, you notice that I selected here takeoff 1, takeoff 2, that's the one I selected. That's a thrust reduction of 20%, so this is 10%, 20% or 3%. Nowadays, planes either use reduced takeoff thrust, or they do use flex temperature. Airbus is famous for using flex temperature. So, and what happens is, when we set the airplane to maximum continuous thrust, the plane will just be fooled to have a higher temperature, outside temperature, and derate the takeoff. As for this plane, we use takeoff 2 because we can't really calculate flex with the current calculator. I mean, I do have an external calculator, but it's not. Well, the 220 isn't there. That's I only have other Airbuses except for the 220. So I'm using this electronic flight bag takeoff performance calculator here, developed by Anybuilds. And as you can see, there's no flex to temp here. So what I do use is takeoff 2, this tells me that if I set my toga, as you can see, it's not on max, but if I press this button here, it will go on maximum continuous thrust that the engine can sustain. But if I tell it to reduce it with the rated takeoff, then it's not really toga. We just set takeoff thrust, so TO thrust. You saw that there was a TO on the PFD, TO, that's takeoff, but the button is called toga. You can actually see it written there. Let me zoom in for you guys. It's written right there, toga, you see there? But it's not really toga. We're not really engaging toga. So maximum takeoff and go around thrust. No, it's just takeoff thrust. Now this is a very Boeing thing. So when you're flying in Boeing aircraft, we also press the toga buttons. But it's just the buttons that are called toga. The thrust is not toga. It's just takeoff thrust. And most of the times it's derated, just like we did with this flight here. Alright, let's go back here to our routes. Let's carry on. So our top of climb will be in about 20 minutes. We're getting there. We have a slight nose wind for now. It's not really that bad. We did request winds, but they don't populate here. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Now the wind's populated. So we're expecting, yeah, some strong winds. Some 40 knots winds coming from 325, so coming from north. We are going to get some winds, some nose winds interfering with the path, with our path. We still don't have the flight ID here, even though we inserted on the flight plan page, on the init page right here, but it's not there. I wonder if it's the flight number, and it should be the flight ID. It should be the flight number here, but it doesn't populate there for some reason. So the lateral profile is showing us our lateral
Budapest control, Finnair 6 Alpha Kilo,
our lateral
flight level 344, climbing to flight level 360.
You can see that the VNAV is following this green line here. It's not following the VNAV path because for some reason VNAV path is not working. If we cannot turn on, we can't turn off flight level change for now. We should be able to, the plane should be able to completely fly this white line here, follow it. A little bit to slight turns. It's a bit aggressive.
Good evening, flight level 334. 37 Charlie Golf, Budapest control identified. Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, contact Bratislava radar 134.475.
Contact Bratislava radar 134.475, Baltic 22 Tango Golf. Bratislava radar, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, passing flight level 261, climbing to flight level 370.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, Bratislava radar identified.
About that V path, I wonder if I switch. No, I can't do much here. It's automated, but it's not. There's nothing to do with thrust, I think. It's just the VNAV that should have transitioned here to climb, which it did. change. I can select vertical climb, but it will not. Let me check. Let me try that. No. Right. So let's say we're gonna climb 2 degrees. And now turn off VPath. Turn on FPA. We can't. Let's see. 3 degrees climb.
Air India 154 Heavy, contact Bratislava Center 123.825.
Contact Bratislava Center 123.825. Air India 154 Heavy, good day.
No, we can't. We cannot, but the reasons behind it, it's beyond me. So what's happening is that I should not have this VPath desired track here. I should be able to follow the magenta line here climbing. But for some reason it's selecting speed and it's telling me I have no VPath selected, although we do have VNAV engaged. It's just not following it correctly. Why? I honestly don't know.
Bratislava radar and Ryanair 21
And this is something I've seen with other planes as well.
to 5,000 feet.
So I've seen that VPath on flight sim is not an exact science, and that can cause some issues when it comes to vertical flight plan, so vertical navigation, or VNAV if you want. So again, we're out of Budapest to Riga in Latvia, so out of Hungary to Latvia. We are flying the Air Baltic, beautiful Latvia paint job. This is an Airbus A220 from Synaptic. In the last video I called them Synaptics. That's because I'm used to the plural of inbuilts. So I apologize to Synaptic for butchering their name, but it is Synaptic, singular, not plural. Plane was released 2 days ago. It's already received an update. Very mild, very small update.
Bratislava radar 127.425 today.
Contact Bratislava radar 127.425, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
Got a TCAS warning up ahead.
Bratislava radar, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf. Good evening, passing flight level 310, climbing to flight level 370, direct
See the
dispatch.
plane crossing our screen there.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, Bratislava radar identified.
That's one right here. Oops.
Sun Express 6 Papa Zulu, contact me radar 135.635.
Sender 135.635, Sun Express 6 Papa Zulu. Have a good evening.
Budapest Control 118.725, bye-bye.
Contact Budapest Control 118.725, Sunset 816 Tango, good day.
364 Quebec to tell me your fuel state.
Runway 364 Quebec, we have 3 hours of fuel remaining.
Roger, thanks for that. Keep us posted if there are any changes.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, passing flight level 346, climbing to flight level 370, direct contact.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, was radar identified. Alpha Kilo, contact LY radar 134.05, have a good evening.
Center on 134.05, Finnair 6 Alpha Kilo.
Warsaw radar identified. Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, contact Warsaw radar 123.625.
Contact Warsaw radar 123.625, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf. Warsaw radar at Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, flight level 367.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, Warsaw radar identified.
doesn't it, Trexie? Looks awesome. I mean, the plane looks awesome design-wise. I think Bombardier hit the nail right on the head. It's a beautiful design. It actually inspired the, well, it depends on who you ask. If you ask the guys at Airbus, they'll tell you that the A350 inspired any other plane that comes next. Of course, their egos won't allow anything else, but I honestly believe that Bombardier's design inspired the A350, at least when it comes to that composite window. I've demonstrated in the last flight that the only downside of that window is that it cannot be opened, so you need an escape hatch on top of the plane. So let's see if I can show it to you. I think you can barely see it. It's too dark, but there is an escape hatch there. There it is. This is an escape hatch. So because the windows can't be open, the pilots need to use this escape hatch. So on board, you can see, or you should be able to see, there's an escape hatch here where the ropes are, and all, I believe the ropes are embedded in this escape hatch. So basically, if there's an issue on any other airline, except for the A220 and the A350, this window usually opens, or maybe the mid window will open. This one is a full-on window, and it's embedded, and it's it looks beautiful. It gives you a very wide angle for sure, but then it inhibits the pilots to open it, not only for escaping, but also, for example, to clean the windows from the outside. So it inhibits that. And I've seen images of pilots training from the escape hatch, but I've also seen pictures of normal operations with pilots just hanging here, cleaning from this hatch, cleaning the windows from this position right here, this funky, weird looking position. But hey, that's the way it is, that these windows cannot be opened, so there's no other way. Still don't know what this light's for, because we can't operate it. Not sure. I mean, it looks very useful, but it's not working right now. Also, you guys need to take hints from the other aircraft, like PMDG, when you can press the pen. Come on. You can click the pen on those planes. Old-timey, but very useful type of rechargeable flashlights. Almost, I don't know any plane that doesn't have one of these in any shape or form. The A330 and the A340 have it right here aft of the pilot's co-pilot seat, pilot's and co-pilot seat. And they're huge. These are not small, but they're not as huge as the 330, 340s. Let's go and have a little walk on the cabin. We did have a little walk when we arrived in Budapest in the last flight. Let's do it again. Beautiful cabin. You can select the colors, by the way. If you come here to the, yeah, right here. So now currently it's whitish. Let's pick, actually, can we pick? We can't. Oh yeah, there it is. So there now is pink, and now it's whatever color. There it is. Now close enough. So yeah, you can select different accent colors. So none of these things will work. So it's very rare to see people actually making these things work. And they're just eye candy. They serve no purpose other than that. Same with the lights. Well, the lights here, I think you should bring that EFB setting for the lighting color and all that. You should bring it up here if not, you do have a panel here. So we forgot to check on the loot. You can open the lid, but you can't flush it. It's not working. Relevant? No. You can close the curtain. You can open the doors manually. Please don't do that during flight. You can also open and close the side blinds. You can also open the bins, but look at it for the last time. This will be deactivated in a future update. So Synaptic decided that this may spin a lot of, I don't know, I think they're just making the plane a little lighter. So they are removing that to improve frame rate. Will it work? We don't know. We have to wait and see. But yeah, no in-flight entertainment. This is a regional aircraft. I believe some companies may have in-flight entertainment. I've just never seen it on an A220. There's a loo up front, and there are 2 more loos, I believe, and 2 more in the back. There's another curtain in the back. We've been there. This is the storage section. Oh, look at that.
West radar, Ryanair 30 Delta Kilo, flight level 381.
I mean,
Ryanair 30 Delta Kilo, West radar.
It's not intentional that you could put your hand inside it. So yeah, single aisle, 3-2 configuration or 2-3 configuration, very common in this type of aircraft. And yeah, it's very, I look at that, there's a lot of room. What's the leg room?
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, contact Warsaw radar 127.45.
Contact Warsaw radar 127.45, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, good day. Warsaw radar, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, flight level 370.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, Warsaw radar identified.
So we're coming up on our top of descent in a moment. And yeah, that's the cabin of the A220. Still no seated passengers. Remember, whenever a plane is released on the Microsoft Flight Marketplace, GSX cannot add the seated passengers. GSX has been updated recently again. Added a few more little items like the ability to connect the ground crew to connect their headphones on the plane and other minor stuff. Nothing too big, but they are working on it, I suppose. We used to have huge complaints about the fact that they didn't update their software, but they're coming along. Meanwhile, while we were cruising, I was able to read about this Navigraph XDK. So apparently this is a bug because we were following flight level change, which in itself is a VPath. But yeah. Just looking here at my legs, so the last flight part of the flight plan is Riga. So we're going to start preparing our descent, and we're going to go through our flight plan here. And we're going to go through routing, and there it is. So we're expecting runway 18 via the Riga to Romeo. So, runway 18. I'm going to pick the ILS Zulu because usually that's what we get via the Riga to Romeo. And vectors, probably not vectors, probably TUK. It's the only one selectable. Done. Let's let's look here to our flight plan. Let's look at it. So this is what we're expecting here. Oh, the other way around. Oh, yeah, so maybe not took. So let's remove took. And execute. Done. Alright, we will have a discontinuity, but that's just fine and dandy. So terrain just crashed. Terrain server is very touchy. So in order to have this terrain here, we need to have a server running in the background, and you can imagine it's kind of heavy for the computer, but nothing mine can handle. But I think a lot of people have issues with that. But anyway, the server sometimes crashes, and when it does, it will go blank. So we do have two screens here. So I'm going to remove terrain from this one. See if we can get it back on this one. Yep, it's done. It's gone. It's gone forever. That's what usually happens, though. What about this one? Can we get terrain back? Yep. See, it's a bug. Yet another bug on this plane. So, let's talk a little bit about this plane. And first of all, let's talk about the simulated plane. You guys saw my last stream. You noticed that I advised people not to buy it for now, to wait a little bit, to wait for Synaptic to update it, to wait for it to become fleshed out and whatever is promised become reality. I believe it's possible because the team looks very committed, but I don't know. Recently in their Discord, just a few hours after they announced that the Dash 100 and ACJ, so two variants of this plane, the Dash 100 is a smaller A220 and the ACJ is the private configuration or business jet configuration for the plane. In the beginning, it was alleged, or at least it was implied, that those two airplanes will be free expansions. But Builds, or in this case Synaptic, came about and said, no, actually it's not going to be free, it's going to be a separate product. We are going to make a few updates to the plane that will also include the Dash 300, so this plane, but we're making it payware. So basically that was their announcement, and that created a turmoil. You have to remember that Synaptic began this project as a freeware thing, like a hobby thing, and then they turned it into a full-fledged product afterwards, and actually joined Builds in building it, or Builds joined them the other way around. Well, long story short, people call them cash grabs, I mean. They call them a lot of things, unfair things, and so they had to lock their Discord. But before they did that, they did comment on a few user complaints. They addressed some of the accusations, and they did it very poorly. I'm not going to say what they said because it's not the type of channel here, but in my humble opinion, they exceeded themselves somehow, and their choice was to just ignore the naysayers, as they should, but at the same time cut their conversation short by simply blocking all the text channels in their Discord. I don't agree with that, but I understand why. why they did it. So people are saying they're arrogant because they think they have a better product than it actually is. To be honest, just to charge 70 plus euros for this plane and have so many bugs as we've seen so far, it's yeah, it's not good, and that's an understatement. And oh look, the Novi path was disappeared. Was it because the flight director wasn't turned on the co-pilot, or was it because I cycled it? Maybe that was it. I think I cycled the flight director, and that made the V path disappear. All right. So, is it not a bug? Who knows at this point? So coming back to Synaptic, yeah, they were kind of arrogant in replying, the way they replied to the users, and they continued to be arrogant afterwards because they, you know, they didn't do it the things the best way possible. Let's just say that. But here's my point of view. They're from the live streams from IndyBuilds in Microsoft's live streams, which they show their faces, at least the big two guys. They look very young. So young people, you don't really expect them to have adult attitudes. So that's one excuse. The other excuse is the plane just took so much time to develop, probably took time of their lives, and they were struggling until IndyBuilds came about. And IndyBuilds doesn't come about as good friends, right? They're a business, and a business wants their investment to be profitable, in the least, at the very least. So were they forced to release the plane as is? I don't know. I'm not part of that project. I'm not part of IndyBuilds or Synaptic. But I have to say that once you get IndyBuilds on board on your project, they will help you. They did develop the electronic flight bag. They developed the external model, the 3D model was all their work, and it looks really cool. I believe they also worked alongside Echo 19 for the sound. So IndyBuilds put their best into the project. Do you think that was free? Of course not. And so if the project is to continue...
Contact Bernice Control 133.43.
Contact Bernice Control 133.43, Nicola 828.
If the project wants to continue, it needs to be profitable, and therefore that's why we have the next phase of the project being paid. This is my POV. So now, should you go on your own Discord and diss all people that, you know, feel upset about it? No, you shouldn't. Should you go on Discord and kind of shoot in all directions, including other third-party developers?
Was a radar Finnair 6 Alpha Kilo.
So all of these things lead me to believe that just increase the amount of dissatisfaction from the crowds. And it is what it is. I guess you need to either get used to it, or you need to understand that not all people are the same. They won't react the same way, or at least not in the way that you would like them to react. And so, yeah. So I'm just going to continue on programming here our stuff. So let's set runway course to 175. I'm going to do that because I've noticed that FMS adding runway course that is somehow imprecise in this plane, probably part of the bug, part of some bug. Okay, now let's go here. That's it. The minimum's 233. Barrel. So let's say 235. 230, because you don't have the last digit. This also happens in default mode 50. Makes me mad, but it is what it is. And yeah, so bearing 1 will be FMS1, VO1, yeah, let's go. runways could change the way we. Well, let's turn on VOR1, VOR2. This will of course be auto-tuned, but let's leave it at that for now. All right. So we inserted the minimums that's written on the chart here. Let's look at our possible approach runway 18, sorry. So it's going to be an ILS, and this is our final course 175 for the runway. The frequency is 111.1 with the identifier IRV. This will be a 3-degree approach out of 2,000 feet. Our initial will be 2,500 feet on Gudin, and then turn around to 2,500 at the DME 6.0 nautical miles from the runway. If missed approach, climb the runway heading track 2,500. After passing 1,500, radar vectoring will be provided. So, as it is with the missed approach procedure, we are probably also going to get vectored in for the approach itself. At least that's what we're planning right now with our flight map.
Weather radar,
We'll just need to wait and see. We'll set this to split. I already showed you guys how this works. For now, we'll keep on the briefing, and then we'll go to profile after we get what we want. This is another bug, by the way. If you open this menu, it will also bring this floating box. Floating box should only be there if we press anywhere else and not on the briefing window itself. So it's a bit annoying. We're about 80 miles. No, more than that. We're 160 miles. I was looking here at the 160, so I thought it had maybe 80 miles, but no, it's the 160 is not here. It's here, so we're about 150 nautical miles from our top of descent. About halfway here, probably around here, we'll get our clearance. And hope that we don't have to change our runways and all that. So there is another bug here with the charts. See, Navigraph token expired or invalid. So if you have your charts here, you have to log into Navigraph. If you want to have it on your electronic flight bag, you also have to log into Navigraph. But apparently if you log into one, you cannot log into the other, and vice versa. So it will go on a continuous loop. We saw that on my last transmission. It's really a pain in the rear end. I already contacted Synaptic, but also contacted Navigraph. Navigraph said they will be looking at what Synaptic will do, because they believe it's something with the plane probably, and not exactly with their service, and I completely understand that. I'm going to clear this overlay here, just getting rid of this data here. It's unnecessary. It just clutters our ND anyway. So we are going to prep our landing, and since we are picking runway 18, we can already go with our calculations here for the landing performance. So let's sync with what's on the FMS. No METAR is on. Let's sync verify. Our landing weight will be 41.3. Sorry, 51.3.
Finish 6 Alpha Kilo, contact mass control 119.125.
And this is in tons, not in kilograms.
125, finish 6 Alpha Kilo. Have a good evening.
As for the VPOD, we'll set 5 knots. Done. Alright, let's compute. Invalid QNH. Oh my god. 1018. Yeah, this keyboard sucks. Oh yeah, above runway. Okay, so brake mode.
Israel 825 was radar identified.
Landing technique, manual, reverse, yes. Flaps 5. Why is it exceeding? It shouldn't exceed. Look at that. This is impossible. No plane requires 8,000 meters. This is not correct. This is definitely not correct. Something's not right. I think this isn't right. So the runway length is 3,200. No airplane in the world, unless you don't want to stop with your own brakes, or reverse, or anything, or just want a plane to slow down on its own. No plane lands in the normal situation. No plane lands at 8,300 meters. So this is to be ignored. And again, this is something that they could have tested before releasing the aircraft. Come on. Any-builds noticed this for sure during production. And this is not possible. So anyway, let's set our V-speed +5. We're going to land with flaps 4. Let's set our temperatures in OAT. So we're expecting on runway 21, so 21 degrees. Runway, it's going to be 1503.
Contact mass control 119.125.
Center 119.125.
Local QNH will be 1018. So there it is. So airport altitude, it's not, I think that's airport altitude. That's not entirely correct. Oh, yeah, probably, but not minus 2092. I'm not going to touch this value because I don't really know what that is. Could be doesn't make sense, it's below ground, so let's say 1 foot, yeah, because that's what we got here, 1 HPA, runway elevation right there, runway elevation, 1 HPA, okay. It's right there at sea level almost. Let's just wait for our clearance now. What? Israel contact Minsk control? Does Israel fly to Belarus? Or anywhere near Belarus airspace? I don't think so. I don't think so. Unless I could be wrong. I don't know. If Israel is sanctioning Belarus or Russia or anybody, maybe not. allied themselves with all the European countries and the US in sanctioning Russia and Belarus. So I don't know. I mean, this is flight simulation. This is not real life, but Israel contact Minsk control means that they're going to overfly Minsk, and that's the capital of Belarus. So any plane going in that direction is either flying to or from Russia. So I'm guessing that they're still in our same airspace as we are. I believe we are now over Poland, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Warsaw. So that means that they're going to need to fly eastbound. And if they're going to fly eastbound, they're either going to fly over Minsk, Belarus, or Ukraine. It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, maybe they're flying to Moscow. Maybe they're not following sanctions. Maybe that's it. This is real life flight operations. So maybe if you go to Flight Radar 24, you will see this plane flying there. Let me have a quick look. I can confirm it or deny it. You guys can do the same, of course, if you wish. Yep, it's true. There is an Israel flying around. Well, not. No, it's a Turkish airline airplane. Yeah, there are 1, 2, 3 Turkish airline flying now over Minsk.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, contact Vilnius Control 132.28.
Center on 132.28, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
There's an Air Serbia.
Vilnius Control, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, good evening, flight level 370.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, Vilnius Control, identified.
Yeah, the Israel Airlines, I found it. It's Israel A220 is now flying actually in Poland still, and it did not enter Minsk airspace. It's still in Poland. So this was
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf cleared Eriva to Romeo arrival, runway 18.
Okay.
Cleared Eriva to Romeo arrival, runway 18, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
Yeah, I can see that Air Serbia, but that's not it. If you look into Poland, now actually reaching Latvia, there's the Israel flight, and it's not at all flying over Minsk. It's because it's got to be a little bug here. It's got to be a little bug here. No problem. It's just a little thing that I've noticed. Of course, Israel wouldn't fly to Minsk. Come on, Belarus. Take a look, Trixie. In Poland, just north of Poland, almost reaching Latvia, you'll see the Israel flight reaching Latvia's border. And there it is, Israel A220. If you search for Israel A220, you can actually see that as well. Well, it's Serbia and Montenegro. They've been Russian allies for a long time. Yes, they Serbia and Montenegro. They've been actually they used to be a Russian state, Soviet state, not Russian. All right, we're just about reaching our top of descent here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try something, because last time I said this was a bug, so the top of descent will continuously fly ahead of the plane. In order to stop that, there's actually a procedure here in flight plan. Where is it? Routes, via2, and now you have to fly direct to Arriva. So I'm going to try that. And apparently that will delete our top of descent. Let's see, does that do that? No, it does not. It continues with the discontinuity here. So that didn't work. So how do we do that? Should I actually select direct to?
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, report ready for descent.
We will, stand by.
Wilco Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
Let's try that. So let's try direct to Arriva. Will that delete our top of descent? No, still nothing. So in the via2 page, we should have a way. No, what the? No. There is nothing to activate here. Anyway, let's go ready for descent.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf approaching our top of descent, ready for descent.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, descent to flight level 130.
Descend to flight level 130, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
Alright, here we go. Flight level change. So on the regular Airbus, we would be on an open descent, and then once we intercepted the path, the VNAV path, the plane will take over and follow the path, but not on this plane apparently. And the top of descent will not clear. So you will notice that this plane will continuously draw TOD ahead of the plane unless
Air
something
Baltic
changes.
22 Tango Golf, contact Vilnius Control 133.43.
Center on 133.43, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, bye-bye.
In airspace.
Good evening, Vilnius Control, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, passing flight level 355, descending to
Yeah, I
flight
know,
level
Trexie, it's
130.
crazy. And that's not the longest flight.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, Vilnius Control identified.
Aeroflot needs to go around many countries now. And when Putin has to go to a country on a certain location that requires them to that used to require to overfly Europe, they have to make a huge detour as well. So the plane has to go a lot longer than it used to be. It's the thing about wars, right? It changes the shape of things.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, contact Vilnius Control 133.305.
Contact Vilnius Control 133.305, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
Let's try again.
Vilnius Control, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, passing flight level 330, descending to flight level 130.
Let's go for descent altitude.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf,
Minimum set,
Vilnius
auto
Control
brake, set
identified.
low. Back is checked in approach briefing. Performance done. Okay, we need the before landing checklist. So yeah, the top of descent will not clear. I was told in their Discord that I should go to the direct to the via2 page and set the direct to that point, but it doesn't work. And there's nothing else to do that. We can set up our fix here. By the way, I'm not going to do that just now because it's pointless. I don't want to increase my workload here. Well, we can establish a runway heading here to help us a little bit. So our reference is going to be Evra. So Evra. Where's the V? And 175. Runway 18. It's got to be the other way around, right? Yeah, it's got to be 36. All right, that's going to be 36. And let's set dash 10 nautical miles. That's good enough. Oh, what am I doing? So it's got to be Evra only. Evra 36 only. It's going to be 175 on the radial. Yeah, there it is. And we are going to require a distance. Yeah, that's good enough. Alright, so we just established here a fix. Give us a runway heading. Intercepted. Always intercepted. Right, so let me find a way to get this. No, cancel that. Doesn't disappear.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, contact Vilnius Control 135.38.
Contact Vilnius Control 135.38, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf. Vilnius Control, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, passing flight level 243, descending to flight level 130.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, Vilnius Control identified.
I didn't hear about that, Trixie. But that's happening quite a lot these days, I think. I keep hearing about those types of interceptions. People are just on edge. I need to... It's bugging me how to remove this TOD here. odd. I mean, there must be something I'm missing, but in all other planes I know, this is automatically removed. Because it's messing my profile, you can see there. It's messing my profile, so it does need to go away. And apparently you need to come here to the VA2 page and do something here. I just don't know what. Is that it? No, that's not it. We still need to be vectored in. We still don't know if we're going to get the ILS.
Alpha Kilo cleared in 49er Mike arrival, runway 15.
Cleared in 49er Mike arrival, runway 15, thin air 6 Alpha Kilo.
Finnair coming from Finland. By the way, the alternate for this flight is an airport in Sweden. So Riga is not a big country, so there aren't many alternates in this country to follow. So if we need to detour, deviate to the reroute, we need to go to Sweden, which isn't that far away. Is it Sweden or? I think it's Sweden still, it's not in Latvia, it's another country. I think it's Sweden. Riga.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, descend there, start to 3,500 feet, QNH 1018.
Descend there, start to 3,500 feet, QNH 1018, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
The actual landing distance, according to the performance on flaps 5 manual, we don't even need manual, max manual braking. The factor distance on a dry runway with our current landing weight something like 4,000 meters, not 8,000 like the charts were saying. It's still a bit wide, it's a bit long for the landing on this particular runway because it is a small runway, but still not, it's Helsinki, see? So it's Finland, not Sweden, sorry. So this is my alternate, Helsinki. So Finland. Apologize for mixing the two countries, not my intention. I know it was somewhere north. Yeah, it makes sense. Stockholm is just too far away. Helsinki is closer. Yep, we're getting there. Not long now. We just need to be vectored in for the ILS and we'll be good. So we're now decelerating to 2,250 knots. I hope we do.
Finnair 6 Alpha Kilo, report ready for descent.
Ready for descent, Finnair 6 Alpha Kilo.
Finnair 6 Alpha Kilo, descent to 2,157 feet, QNH 1017.
descent to 2,157 feet.
That's too precise. 2,157 feet. That's way too precise. Come on, beyond ATC, you can do better. Way too precise.
Israel 825, contact Vilnius information approach 123.855.
Contact Vilnius information approach 123.855, Israel 825.
This fix doesn't look aligned with the runway heading. I didn't set it correctly, did I? 175, that's the runway heading, isn't it? So why is it offset? It looks offset, doesn't it?
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, contact Riga approach 134.85.
Contact Riga approach 134.85, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf. Riga approach, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, passing flight level 0907, descending to 3,500 feet with information over Embark.
Yeah, look at that, it's offset.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, Riga approach QNH1018, expect the RNAV Zulu approach runway 18 with the exit transition.
QNH1018, expect the RNAV Zulu approach runway 18
So
with the
it's
exit
RNAV
transition,
Zulu.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
Which is even better. RNAV Zulu with the XH. So let's go back here to flight plan. So runway 18, and we are expecting the RNAV Zulu via XH to Golf. Or maybe not. Maybe we just follow this. With the access transition execute. Way, way better than ILS, to be honest, because this plane with ILS is a mess. Yep, execute. Awesome. So we did an ILS approach in the last flight, it didn't go well. I just say that. And we still have the top of descent flying ahead of us. That's crazy. Alright, not long now. We're still descending, although right now we're not. Plane is following a constraint now. Where is it? We're below the VNAV path, so I believe it's just holding, because I believe we're below a certain constraint. We should be looking at the charts here. So pretty straightforward. So let's review the data here. So no ILS required. We do have a different decision altitude. So let's go here to minimums. So we are flying Bravo type, so 353. So it's going to be a tight approach. Here's hoping the plane can handle it. I've heard from real life A220 pilots that they always prefer RNFs with this plane, because apparently it's not a good plane. Intercepting the localizer seems like a little dance. So pilots often prefer to have the RNAV or RNP instead of the ILS. So let's see the arrival data. We got 123 plus 5 for the same runway. Let's check the temperature, see if anything changed significantly. Yes, 140 at 4, so let's change that. 140 at 4. We also have 20 actually, 20 degrees here. And QNH is the same, 1018. Still landing with flaps 5. So no need to go to the VOR mode. Another constraint is followed. I'm still concerned the plane's not descending though. Altitude constraints. There should be at flight level 70, so something's not right. The plane just switched to altitude hold for no apparent reason. Maybe because we were changing the approach. But still, we're slightly below the VNAV path anyway.
All aircraft be advised, the information Oscar now current QNH1018.
1018. Can we change that? 1018. Set standard again. So in this situation we're way above the transition altitude of 5,000 feet. So we don't want to take chances here. Let's turn on the personal electronic devices warning as well as the seatbelt signs. If it does its job correctly, it's going to follow the constraint of 7,000 feet on the next waypoint as it is on the chart. So let's see if it does that. Looks like it's going to do that. Yeah, there it is. So it is following constraints as it should. And the airport should be visible already to our left. Let's turn on our track IR. We're going to need to reduce our speeds pretty quickly now. Here we go. What's this? Check flight plan altitude. I know we're following constraints, buddy. Take it easy, buddy. Well, let's turn on the approach mode at this point.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, clear direct XH, cross XH at or above 3,500 feet, cleared RNF Zulu approach runway 18.
Clear cleared direct XH cross XH at or above 3,500 feet cleared on F Zulu approach runway 18 Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
Alright, we're clear for the RNAV. So set flaps 1. Let's help the plane reduce speed. Descend. Just clear that discontinuity there. In flight. We are about to make ourselves approach Riga. Set local. And cross-checked. Get down. Set flaps 2. Plane does a good job in placing itself on the next flap position when on FMC speed. Pretty cool feature. You're coming down, look at that. You're down.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, contact Riga Tower 118,
published missed approach procedure. We're going to remain under discontinuity until we are cleared to go back to the RNAV approach.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, turn left heading 095.
Turn left heading 095, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
$2,500. $2,500.
Yep, thank you. So altimeters were set, our flaps were set, cabin was ready. Yeah, so we need to go around and begin again at ASCASH.
2,500.
ASCASH.
2,500.
Lufthansa 892, reduce speed 200 knots.
Reduce speed 200 knots.
2500.
Lufthansa 892.
So let's go flaps 1.
$2,500.
Oh, we didn't turn on our landing lights below 10,000. Let's do just now.
2,500.
So this altimeter, this is the GPWS saying altimeter. Oh, 2,500.
2,500.
Radar. 2,500.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, turn left heading 360. Expect further clearance in about 17 miles.
Turn left heading 360, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
There you go.
$2,500.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, descend to 2,000 feet, QNH 1018.
2,500.
Descend to 2,000 feet, QNH 1018, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
Yeah, low-level clouds. Not again. What is this auto throttle doing? What is this auto throttle doing? Stop.
Auto throttle. Auto throttle.
What is it doing? Why it keeps accelerating? Doesn't make any sense, this. It should be maintaining 190 knots. That's what I've been telling it to do. Look at that. It keeps accelerating like crazy.
Auto throttle.
I'm going to keep it
Auto
manual
throttle.
if it's not behaving. So I've noticed that on the go-around procedure, it entirely clear the flight plan. Not sure if that's what should happen. It doesn't happen on a regular Airbus. Not by a long shot. Let's go back here. Let's insert clear the discontinuity. Again, the top of climb is still there. Now there's a top of climb and a top of descent. Crazy. Let me try to go direct there. X-Edge. No, still there, the top TOC, see there? Crazy. There's something wrong with this. I'm pretty sure. So, flaps is flaps 3 for some reason. So, I wanted flaps 1.
established. Cleared ILS Zulu approach runway 18, Lufthansa 892.
Vectored heading. Should be descending to 2,500, 2,000 feet. 2,500 feet. Now it's keeping thrust, all right. Still waiting on that vector. Come on, guys. You know what? I'm going to turn in. Because I know that Beyond ATC is not that good with this.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, turn left heading 280.
Turn left heading 280 over Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
Right on time.
$2,500.
Come on.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, maintain 1,000 feet until established on the final approach course. Cleared runway Zulu approach runway 18.
Maintain 1,000 feet until established. Cleared Nav Zulu approach runway 18 Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
Set flaps too.
Approaching 18.
Confirm runway 18. Flight trajectories all over the place. Because we didn't engage approach mode. It's alright.
Approaching minimums. 300.
Unstable, but we can still make it.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Touchdown. Reverse idle. Set.
Lufthansa 892, go around. Fly runway center line, maintain 2,000 feet.
Going around. Fly runway center line, maintain 2,000 feet. Lufthansa 892.
Lufthansa 892, contact Riga approach 134.85, talk to you in a bit.
Contact Riga approach 134.85. Lufthansa 892. Speak soon.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, exit left next available taxiway.
Exit left next available taxiway, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
Okay, runway exit procedures. Oh, not to make it throw off. Start APU.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, contact ground 118.805.
Ground 118.805, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf. Have a good evening.
There we go.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf. Request taxi to assigned gate.
Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf, taxi to stand 104 Bravo via Charlie Foxtrot Tango.
Taxi to stand 104 Bravo via Charlie Foxtrot Tango, Air Baltic 22 Tango Golf.
Not a big airport, so can't really miss yourself. So we are via Charlie, then turn to Fox, and then Tango to Apron, stands 104B. Actually, we passed that. Welcome to Riga. Not as smooth as I would like to, but it was not bad. So stand 104, probably this one. Then 206. Probably one of these. Yeah, there it is. It's probably this one right here. There's a marshaller. 114. There it is. Wasn't the one that we were attributed, but it's the one we could get. Very good party, he says. Nice. Plane is low, so we can see the marshaller better and we have a better control of our speed, ground speed. So yeah. All right, let's go with the have the land checklist complete. Let's go with the shutdown checklist. No steer to off. So we got AP running. Let's turn off engine 1 and engine 2, or left and right engine. Seatbelt signs to off. Beacon 2 also off. Flight control test complete. Oh, we don't need that. AP running. And it is complete. Right, welcome to Riga. Welcome to Latvia. It wasn't the worst flight I've ever done, but
boarding requested.
It had its little shortcomings. The plane had some little hiccups, some issues. Some of them we had already identified back in the day, but when we did our first flight. But here it is, the Air Baltic Airbus A220. Oh, sorry about that. The Air Baltic A220 did perform its flight out of Budapest to Riga, Hungary to Latvia. We had to go around. The autopilot decided not to follow the VNAV path again, so it's yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. At least we tried. I will have to wait for future updates on this aircraft to make it fly a little more reliably, to correct some of the issues. What are the issues, and what is the plane's idiosyncrasies and little quirks? I know this plane in real life is also incomplete, believe it or not. In real life, this plane software is still under development, so a lot of things are still undergoing in terms of logics and missing FMS pages as well. But yeah, the plane's beautiful. It's very well designed. I mean, the 3D model is very well designed, but it still has a lot of work to do behind the curtains. Once more, I'll repeat myself from what I said last time. If you want to buy this plane, if you really want this plane, and go for it, but I would wait some time, let it flesh out, let the bugs be resolved. There are many bugs. The crew is small, so it's going to take some time to get this plane really working as intended. But until then, yes, Betsy says bye. She liked the flight. I mean, I don't like to go around as much as I do often, but yeah, it is what it is, guys. If you like what you saw, you know what to do. Press that like button, subscribe, really helps the channel. There's also a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description if you feel like it. Every investment done here, it will be reinvested on new add-ons, new airplanes, new scenery. I think everybody that has already been quite generous in donating really helps the channel. This was a somehow expensive plane. The donations didn't cover entirely, but it did help. So thank you all for that, those that have helped the channel in the past. Next flight will be out of Riga. I already have a couple ideas. We'll see where we go. If this plane gets updated, I'll probably use it with the new updates to test it out. If not, I'll be taking another plane, as it's probably best. We'll see. Guys, thank you all for coming. Thank you Andrew. Thank you Trexie, of course. Great friends. Thank you all. Thank you both for coming. Also, thank you Simbrief, who was here earlier, and everybody else watching. Feel free to speak if you wish. It's not mandatory, but I would really appreciate when people do talk. So guys, I'll see you next time. Hopefully next, probably this weekend, we'll see. If not, we'll see each other next weekend. Sorry, next week. Probably Tuesday, maybe before that. So yeah, thank you guys for coming. See you next time, and remember, there's always a blue sky up there, regardless of how bad the weather is. Bye bye guys, thanks.
I love to fly up in the sky. Through the clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dreams begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dreams begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drums begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the